The concept of having an abortion in the later months and even execution after birth, and that's exactly what it is.
So Donald Trump says abortions up to and after birth are happening all the time. Shocker alert, Trump is lying. And another shocker alert, his minions still believe him. So I wanted to present this video to show what Trump's executions really look like. This video is a bit long, but I wanted to honor this mother and the child that she lost. And I think everyone needs to hear this story. Please watch as long as you can.
My name is Allie Phillips, and I live in Clarksville, Tennessee. My husband, Brian, works for a forklift company. Together, we are raising Adelie, my 6-year-old daughter. Brian, Adelie, and I were so excited to learn that I was pregnant in the fall of 2022, and even more thrilled to find out that we were having a little girl, Miley Rose. Everything was going perfectly until the day of my routine anatomy scan. I had no way of knowing that the next 10 minutes would change my life forever. My doctor told us that Miley's kidneys, bladder, and stomach were not functioning. There was no amniotic fluid protecting her, and her growth was a month behind, and she had no lung development. We were told that Miley was not compatible with life. Completely broken, I asked, "What do we do now?" The doctor suggested I had 2 options, that I could terminate the pregnancy, but due to Tennessee's ban on abortion, I would have to travel out of state for that health care. My second option would be to continue my pregnancy, but risk a miscarriage, a stillbirth, or giving birth for her to be put right into hospice care. And then the doctor warned that the longer I stayed pregnant, the worse Miley's condition would get and the more at risk my health would become. Knowing I had a daughter and a family to live for, we made the difficult decision to seek an abortion. So instead of grieving this devastating news, my mother and I began researching and calling clinics in states that allowed abortion. Many did not have open appointments for weeks. Ultimately, I found a clinic in New York City that could get me in. Then I had to book flights, find a hotel, arrange ground transportation, and childcare for Adelie. I had to start a GoFundMe effort online to help cover the unexpected medical and travel costs. Without the help of strangers on the internet, I would not have had the freedom to leave Tennessee or to make my own medical decisions, rights that my state denied me. I arrived at a New York City clinic alone. Due to security concerns, only patients are allowed in. I was there for several hours when a new ultrasound showed that Miley's heart was no longer beating. Sorry.
Take your time.
Distraught, I called Brian, my husband, to tell him over the phone that our much-wanted daughter was already gone. I went into surgery alone, and I sat in recovery alone. I grieved her loss alone in a city I've never been in. No one should be treated this way. I flew back home to Tennessee. I had to go back to my life like nothing ever happened. We want to have another child, but we're terrified because Tennessee still bans abortion and criminalizes doctors for providing essential health care for pregnant patients. I know that I was lucky to get the care I needed, but no one should have to rely on luck to get essential health care. I made a promise to Miley that her name would not die with her. Thank you so much, Senator, for giving me this opportunity.
In the biblical story of the woman caught in adultery, Jesus chased away those that believed their theology was so important that it took away any responsibility to have empathy for a woman. If you can't have empathy for this woman who was testifying in front of the Senate, or for the millions of women now under the bondage of Christian law in many states in America, you need to check your heart and your Bible. Donald Trump is lying about abortion, and he's doing it because he knows he can manipulate you Christians in his lust for political power and, frankly, in your lust for the same. A lust that cares more about imposing the bondage of Christian law onto people than it cares about loving thy neighbor.
Roe v. Wade. They wanted it ended.
I promise thinking is not a sin, and neither is empathy.